Well, welcome to our final devotional for this Holy Week as we consider the events of what we commonly refer to as Silent Saturday. Jesus has been crucified, he has been taken off the cross, and he has been buried, and now he lies in the grave on that Saturday. And so we don't have a whole lot of information from the gospel writers of what is happening around the events of that day, but we do have a small glimpse into some of the things working in the background, and I want to read that to you in just a few moments. But as we just consider this past week and these devotionals that we have looked at together, they're all leading us up to what we will celebrate tomorrow, Resurrection Sunday. And you say, well, why are we not doing a devotional for that day? Well, because we're going to gather together and worship. And that will be our devotional as we lift our voices and sing of our risen Savior, and as we consider the proof that has been provided to us through the resurrection of Jesus, that he is who he says he is, and that he has done all that he said he will do. And so I want to invite you from the onset of today's devotional to come and worship with us tomorrow. Maybe you're already a part of our church and you're planning on being here, and we look forward to worshiping with you tomorrow. Our schedule is as normal. We'll have Sunday school at 9 a.m. We'll have worship at 10. It's going to be just a special day, as Easter Sunday always is. And if you don't have a church home, and maybe you've just seen these shared on social media and you've been considering where you might need to worship or want to worship on Easter Sunday morning, I want to invite you to come. We truly believe that you have a place to belong here at the Falls, and we would love to see you and worship with you tomorrow. Or maybe you have another church home and you've just been following along with us. I would invite you to go to be a part of their services tomorrow and to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus with your own church family. But my hope and prayer is that you will be somewhere worshiping our risen King tomorrow, because he is truly worthy of your worship. But for now, we consider Saturday and the silence of that day. And we consider that even in our own lives, sometimes it might feel like there's silence. But we must also know that even when we feel like there might be silence, it does not mean that God is not working. And we also are assured that even in the silence, nothing is going to stop the plans of God. And what we see in the Gospel of Matthew is a plan begin to form in which they are seeking to almost stop the plan of God. And in Matthew chapter 27, the very end of the chapter, after Jesus has been buried, he tells us in verse 62, the next day, which followed the preparation day, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate, and they said, "Sir, we remember that while this deceiver was still alive, he said, 'After 3 days I will rise again.' So give orders that the tomb be made secure until the third day. Otherwise his disciples may come, steal him, and tell the people he has been raised from the dead, and the last deception will be worse than the first. You have a guard of soldiers," Pilate told them. "Go and make it as secure as you know how." So they went, and they secured the tomb by setting a seal on the stone and placing the guard. So after Jesus has been buried, many of the religious leaders, they're aware of the predictions that Christ has made. And you have to wonder if some of them in the back of their minds are beginning to think, maybe he was right. Maybe this is going to happen. But then there seems to be another sect of them who think these guys were so devoted to this Jesus that whether or not this happens as he says it would, they might go and try to steal his body to make the claim that he has risen from the dead. And so they convince Pilate to give them some extra muscle to guard the tomb to ensure that Jesus is not extracted from the tomb. But what we know, and just as I've already alluded to, there is nothing that is going to stop the plan of God. There was no seal tight enough. There was no stone large enough and no guards strong enough that were going to stop Jesus rising from the grave. It was the plan of God from the very beginning that he would lay down his life and take it back up again. And you and I can be assured in our own lives of the purposes and the plans of God that he has for us, that he has for me, that nothing will stop those plans. And that even when we can't see him working, we can be assured that he is still working. And if we are struggling to see even how the circumstances of our life might be working, we can be assured of the truth that for those who love God and are called according to his purpose, all things, as Romans 8:28 tells us, are working together for our good. So maybe it's not as always loud and clear as we would like it to be, but we know that the plans of God are certain, they are sure, and that he is completely trustworthy. And so we continue to follow him and trust in what he has for us.